Welcome to the Enterprising Conversation channel. My name is Rendani. I'm the voice in the wilderness. Special word of thanks and welcome to new subscribers. Today's topic is very simple and straightforward. I'm looking at the US President Donald Trump shunning and skipping the G20 summit that is going to be hosted in Joburg in November. Donald J. Trump has decided to mandate his vice president, one J.D. Vance, to come and attend on his behalf. And I just want to mention that the inspiration for this video podcast is because of an editorial or opinion on Times Live, online newspaper, where this person was urging the South African government to continue to urge on DJT, Donald J. Trump, to come and attend the G20 summit. This person, the reasoning behind this opinion was that the very fact that Donald Trump managed to shift from USA not coming altogether to seconding the next highest ranking politician and government official in his administration was a good sign. It meant that Donald Trump was flexible and open to persuasion. Now, when I read that, I started appreciating that there might be certain important things that people are missing as far as Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. People don't seem to understand the foundations of the MAGA movement and the doctrine that inspires this movement. And I've seen with Christians as well, many people, just because Donald Trump supports positions that seem to support the Christian faith, people so desperate for a Christian hero. We don't need another Christian hero. We've got Jesus Christ. Fortunately, he never changes, he never disappoints. So there's no need for people to be so desperate for heroes and then just embracing anyone who claims to be advancing the Christian faith. So, just by way of getting the ball rolling, if we roll back the tapes to when Donald Trump launched his campaign, Donald Trump's campaign was launched on the back of a conspiracy theory, and that is the foundation of MAGA as a whole. Their doctrine and philosophy is anchored on conspiracy theories. What Donald Trump told American people, sold successfully so, was that the American system was rigged in favor of the elite in America. And he, as Donald Trump, was going to ascend to power and make sure that he fixes the American system to serve ordinary people. I mean, the verdict is out. And sometimes there's this saying that be careful what you wished for because you might get it. And now Trump has that responsibility, he's the president, and the verdict is out. His poll are crumbling, are crashing. His favorability on the economy, on how he's handling immigration. Yes, Americans still feel a lot needs to be done with immigration, just like we feel here in South Africa. But the manner in which he's going about it is, alienating even the people that supported him on that. So he launched his campaign platform on the theory of a rigged American system that he was going to fix. And that is not necessarily a lie or an unfounded conspiracy theory is true. There are people who feel that the odds are stacked against ordinary Americans in South Africa, in America. I mean to say that no matter how hard you try, you can never succeed. You can never beat the system because it's configured to subjugate you. Now, flowing from that conspiracy theory of a rigged system, there are a number of specific issues, specific conspiracies. One of which has to do with the Jeffrey Epstein files, where there was this. It's not a conspiracy itself. It's a real issue where with victims, where victims have been sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein and his partner in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell. All these people were convicted and put behind bars. Unfortunately, Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in jail. There's a lot of suspicion around that. And what Trump seized on this, and MAGA has got a conspiracy around it, around this issue of the Epstein file. It's one that even the now deputy director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, has built his career as a podcaster. He became very rich on these conspiracies. And they were basically saying that you're not building on the rigged system conspiracy, that there are pedophiles who are elites who have committed crimes but that are being protected by the deep state, never to appear, never to be held accountable. And Trump, as usual, was going to be the knight in shining armor and come and make sure that he releases the Epstein files. He releases even the so-called client list of beneficiaries of sex trafficking that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were convicted for and incarcerated for. So they rallied their base based on those conspiracy theories of saying that, and in their, so this is a real issue. It's not a conspiracy theory per se, but there are aspects that are conspiratorial. For example, there are people who are protecting high-ranking people, and the talk has always been that it's mostly Democrat, like your Bill Clinton. It's not a conspiracy. Bill Clinton, the flight logs of Jeffrey Epstein shows that Bill Clinton flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane for maybe 26 times, 28 times, somewhere there, and he has been to Jeffrey Epstein Island where all this criminality was taking place. Now, fast forward to Trump being the president now. He was presented with the opportunity to enforce total transparency about the Epstein files and to expose the deep state. But there was a problem. There was one big problem with the Epstein file. Trump couldn't deliver on the promise. Like I said, be careful what you wished for. Because when he was campaigning, I don't think he was completely sure that he was going to become the president. But with Trump, it doesn't matter. The end justifies the means. You can use anything and still not deliver, just like on the living cost of living. He campaigned on that, bringing groceries to his campaigns. But now he's just turned his back and rigged the system further in favor of himself and very rich friends, and gifted the elite massive price cuts, just like he did in his first term. So that's what happened. So with the Epstein file, the problem was that Trump featured prominently in the Epstein files. If you follow the story, Trump was a very close friend for upwards of 15 years. He was a very close friends of Jeffrey Epstein. There's video footage that shows him partying. Now, here is the kicker. There's another conspiracy theory that forms the foundation of the MAGA movement, the white replacement theory. This white replacement theory basically states that the deep state in America, championed primarily by the Democrats and some Washington insiders who may even be Republicans, there's a conspiracy to replace the white race in America by illegal immigrants who are people of color. And that's a real fear, because even the state in America, so this theory, I mean to say, plays on like a genuine fear, because over time, as more and more immigrants went into the United States, and unfortunately the Democrats have done a very bad job, like the ANC here, opening the floodgates. Yes, America, given the jobs and the size of the economy, there's a strong reason for continuing on their approach of being an immigrant nation. But I mean, you can only push the system that far. Beyond that, the system can break and breed and breed resentment from the population. Now, that is the theory that is there, and this is where South Africa comes in. The white replacement theory. And I was still explaining that the stats, the hard facts on the ground, do indicate that the white population is declining relative to people of color. So that theory, that conspiracy theory was founded on and riding on genuine fears of the population. Now, when the issue of the conspiracy theory of the white genocide came in, of course, with the assistance of South Africa attracting unnecessary attention, just running around with countries that are regarded as the enemy of the US. Some MAGA people started with this white genocide, aided by Elon Musk, who's South African, of course. And this white genocide is the one that gave Trump the opportunity to say, as a person who's running a white supremacist administration, I want to demonstrate to the global right-wing movement that I'm the knight in shining armor defending the white race. So the white refugee program, based on a lie of a white genocide in South Africa, serves a very important tenet of the MAGA movement theory and political outlook. So Trump doesn't want to come to South Africa in a nutshell, because he doesn't want to see what he already knows, the fact that there is no white genocide in South Africa. He's not prepared to lose this very important leverage, this important political capital of demonstrating to his MAGA base and the right wing globally that Trump is the savior and messiah of the white race. That's where the people that are saying government must speak to Trump and persuade him to come to South Africa don't seem to appreciate. It's a heavy price for Trump to pay if he has to lose the the lie that he desperately needs about the white genocide in South Africa, because this conspiracy activates one of the central tenets of MAGA doctrine, that there's a conspiracy to replace white people with illegal immigrants. He doesn't want to see that truth. And suppose Donald Trump was misinformed about the white genocide issue in Africa, and take into account that America has got satellites everywhere. They can listen into any conversation in the world. They've got a business community in South Africa. They've got, which is very organized and sizable. They've got an embassy in South Africa. To know what they need to know about, especially genocide, is not something that you can easily hide if South Africa intended to hide it. Now, do you remember that Trump even went further than that? Maybe he sometimes he honestly believed the genocide theory. He sent his spiritual advisor, Pastor Mark Benz, who was here in South Africa, was also interviewed on the national broadcaster, I remember, by Liane Manas. So Pastor Mark Benz went back to the state to report to Trump to say there's no white genocide. The interview, the footage of the interview is still there on the SABC, where Pastor Mark Benz conceded that there's no such thing as white genocide. And obviously, Pastor Mark Benz went back to the state and reported to Trump. But have you heard Trump talk about it or pivot from his conspiracy theory? No, he's doubling down. He continues to double down. He swept the matter, the report from Pastor Mark Benz under the carpet, because Trump desperately needs the white genocide lie to continue. That's what Trump rides on. It helps him to continue to say that. So finally, I would like to say, not even a promise of a Qatar style jet, the palace in the sky, gift to Trump will convince him to come to South Africa, I believe. I might be proved wrong, but this is very important. The issue of the foundational doctrine of MAGA movement, Trump would not want to give that away. Remember, even South Africa has been punished based on this lie, white genocide, the discontinuing of US aid, although it's a global thing, but the executive order targeted South Africa, mentioning this kind of things. So tell me, what's your take on this matter? How do you see it? Comment or talk to me on the comment section, and please, if this resonates with you, subscribe, like, and share.